Hey Strikers, I'm Mr. Hoodat, and in this video, I'll be pointing out many interesting facts about the game you may have missed. Some of these will seem obvious to you, but maybe there's a few you haven't noticed. Let me know which ones you didn't catch until now, or if there's some lesser known facts that I may have missed. Also, one of these facts are forbidden. I'll share with you what it is, but you must not abuse it in your games. Let's get started. Did you know, in the settings menu, you can hide your name and also enable detailed scoreboard, which lets you see character stats in-game when you press tab. Also, in the trainings menu, you can click more detail on the left side to get way better descriptions of what each training does. In the top left corner of the main screen, you can enter the Striker playbook and see how the power stat affects each Striker's abilities. The tutorial mentions you can gain XP from kills, goals, and orbs. But did you know, you also gain XP passively from touching the core and from saves and shots, but you do not gain XP for damaging enemies. Also, what the tutorial doesn't tell you is levels in this game are incredibly powerful as they increase your stagger health, your damage with every ability, your move speed, and they also reduce your cooldown timers. This is why core and orb control are so important early on in the game, as being a few levels ahead early can be the difference maker in a match. Here's a chart of character stats for each level. Some characters have different health totals, but power, speed, and cooldown reduction are all the same. Did you know, when queuing as a group, you are penalized by generally playing higher ranked opponents and having worse LP gain and losses? This is especially true for 3-player groups, so be careful fooling around with friends if you care about your rank. Did you know, if you queue as goalie or forward, you are guaranteed to get the role you want without worrying about having to practice both? Did you know, if you and an enemy stand on an orb as it spawns, or reach the orb at the same time, you both receive the XP, health, and bonus effect benefits of the orb. Sharing is caring. Did you know, Asher's primary skill, Arc Beam, is a medium hit, with a heavy hit in the very center, so try not to be in the center while close to the edges of the maps. Arc Beam also has a strange interaction with Dubu's Tofu Fortress, as it can push the ball through his walls. I believe this is the only ability able to do this without ping or janky wall positions. Did you know Drakar's primary ability, Lock and Load, is a heavy hit when close to him and a light hit when far away? So there's some situations where it's beneficial to run towards the edge of the map to get out of his heavy hitbox. Did you know Dubu's primary ability, Bamboozle, can stop the core and enemies for a brief period from passing the log while in its animation? This is especially useful against enemies that are trying to shove the core in. Also, Dubu's secondary ability, Summer Assault, doesn't only stun the enemies, but also the core. This means enemies cannot move the core during the stun's duration. Also, if you take the Cast to Last training, his roll's stun duration is actually increased, despite not showing in the training menu, making it way easier to clear the ball away from stunned enemies. Did you know, the reason Dubu's special, Tofu Fortress, spawns so strangely is because players in the core block the walls from reaching their max range. So it's a good idea to hit the core forward before using this ability. Also, the corners of the map can create very strange fortress shapes, so be wary of using it towards the corners, especially on the map Funnel. Did you know, Estelle's teleport ability, Rose Warp, targets the nearest enemy or core from when you begin the cast, not after you teleport? Did you know, Junu's slimes can actually be aimed with her basic strike, essentially acting as another character? Also, her special, Make It Rain, spawns more slimes for each enemy and core in the area. Did you know, Luna can strike the ball during her dash ability? You can even hit the ball in a completely different direction of your dash to confuse the enemies. Luna's primary ability, Rocket, is a light hit at first, but charges up to heavy when it reaches a certain range. Her special ability, Crater, is a heavy hit in the center and medium on the edges, making it a smart idea to run towards the edges sometimes. Also, there's a strange Easter egg where if you get all 3 enemies inside the Crater's hitbox, she plays a funny voice line. Get destroyed, nerds! Did you know, X's primary ability, Bell Ringer, is a heavy hit towards the edges of the spin, but a very light hit when close to him? So if you struggle against X, most of the time it's correct to give him a big hug, unless he uses his special of course. Did you know, there's currently a website being worked on by Reznok where you can look up more detailed player stats. I believe he's also planning on adding even more stats in the future. I'll add the link to the description below. And now, it's time for the forbidden technique. Did you know, as of the latest patch, there's a strange bug that actually guarantees a win for your team. I'll show you how it's done, if you promise not to abuse it.